Alright, should have done this a long time ago, but I'm going to continue through my movie collection. I'm going to be on what I call Tier 4, which I'm actually going down instead of up, but whatever. Just some kind of way to categorize it. So we're on the second tower in the middle here, and almost at the bottom of it. So, lucky number 7, I haven't seen this. Picked it up really cheap, and I think it has a pretty good rating. Obviously has some good actors, Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman. I don't know some of the other ones, but guessing kind of an action movie. They've got guns, so anyway. Transporter, don't think I've seen this either. I really like Jason Statham, got this really cheap, and it wasn't $2. This was actually like one of those 50-cent movies or whatever, but the same with Lucky Number 7. But so why not? I think it had a decent rating again. I like Jason Statham. I'm sure it's good. I'll have to get around to watching it sometime. Kill Bill 1 and 2, these I have seen. I used to really love Quentin Tarantino, and I still do, but I haven't watched a lot of his recent stuff, even some of the stuff that I own. But up to Kill Bill, at least, I have watched, probably everything that was before that. And they're really good. The strong female lead, and yeah, so there's a lot of violence in them, a lot of blood, kind of like comic book style, where blood's just squirting out, and I don't think it's really gory or horrific. Like I said, it's kind of almost so over the top. I remember one of these being really more action oriented, and the other one being kind of more story oriented, but it's a continuous movie, kind of that. They go together, so I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I know that she faces certain villains that are kind of like bosses in video games or something. There's, a handful of villains until she gets to like the final guy that she's after. I don't really remember the complete story at all, but a lot of action, and if you're into Quentin Tarantino movies, it's really good, so I need to watch those again too. Good review on those. Total Recall, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he goes into the future and has like a doppelganger or something. I don't remember all the. This is like an action sci-fi movie. It's one of those classics, and pretty crazy. So I used to really love Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's one of my favorite action stars. And this is one of the movies that helped him into the stardom. 300. The art style in this is really cool. It's a pretty good movie. It's what started the meme, this is Sparta. This is Sparta. And he kicks the guy into the hole. And it's, I think it's like Romans. Romans go into war, and lots of action. They're very colorful, and it says it's a novel by the same guy who did Sin City, which was also very colorful. Anyways, it's a decent movie. Some people might like it more than me, but Van Helsing, it's one that I like. It's got Hugh Jackman, and kind of sentimental again, because I remember going to like a haunted house in a certain place, for Halloween, like one of those fake haunted houses, and they had this little theater room that you kind of waited in before you would go in, the next group, and they were playing Van Helsing on there, and I remember that. But it's not the greatest, but it's an action movie with like horror monsters, and I think it's comparable to like Underworld. They're kind of similar, and I don't remember what all he does. I guess he fights monsters, basically vampires and werewolves, and he uses all these high-tech gadgets and guns and stuff to do it. So that's neat. It's a good one to watch around Halloween or whatever. And the Matrix trilogy, I'm not sure that I can say a lot about that. I know I've seen the first one. I may not have watched all these. They're obviously classics. I'm sure a lot of people know of these too. And Keanu Reeves got really big in these, and He goes into the Matrix, and there's a lot of... They're action movies, lots of shooting and fighting, and it's all about the bullet time, where when people shoot bullets and time slows down and they're dodging bullets and everything. A lot of good effects in these movies. And I'm pretty sure that all of them are good, the whole trilogy. That's something that would be really good to own on Blu-ray too, but I mean, I like these DVDs. I got, one was a 2-disc. Payback, kind of a Paycheck, sorry, kind of a guilty pleasure. Ben Affleck. And sorry that I can't comment on a lot of these, because some of these it's been a long time since I've seen. And I guess it has Uma Thurman in it too, that was in Kill Bill. I don't remember exactly what this is about, but Ben Affleck, let's see. He's a brilliant computer engineer hired for top secret projects. After each job, his short-term memory is erased, so he cannot recount any project information. Emerging from his latest assignment, a 3-year contract with an 8-figure paycheck given to him by his longtime friend, Jennings is jolted when he is told that during the end of this assignment he agreed to forfeit all payment. Jennings has no recourse until he receives a mysterious envelope containing clues to his forgotten past. With the help of a beautiful scientist he once loved but now cannot remember, Jennings races to solve the puzzle of his past, while a terrifying discovery waits in his future. So he's kind of set up or screwed over, and his memory's erased, and he's trying to figure these things out. And I always thought it was pretty good. It's a pretty decent movie. Boone the Bounty Hunter. I got this because I'm a wrestling fan, and this the main actor in this is John Hennigan, who is John Morrison, or he goes by lots of names. Johnny Mundo now. He's wrestling for a promotion called Impact Wrestling, and he's really good. He's been in the WWE, and he's been in lots of different, Lucha Underground, different promotions. He does like parkour. He runs up walls and all that. He's very athletic, and he has a cool personality. And so he's made some movies, and some wrestlers have made pretty good movies. Obviously, The Rock is the biggest example, or Hulk Hogan. But this will probably go overlooked by a lot of people, but this is actually a decent movie. For like a low-budget film, it was entertaining. I never got bored watching this. Some good action scenes. It was funny. Had some good comedy in it. And basically, it's like a spoof on Dog the Bounty Hunter, I guess. This is kind of trying to be like an exploitation, or like a, I guess maybe not that far, but it's kind of like a cult kind of movie with the comedy in it and stuff. It also has Kevin Sorbos. So, no, it's not really, I don't think it's really bloody or really gritty or anything, but it's good. If you like some just cheap action movies with some comedy and stuff, I would definitely suggest you check that out. And he made another one that I have too, that I haven't watched yet. Platoon, Oliver Stone. I can't say whether I've really sat through and watched this, but I do love a lot of war movies. I know this is one of the great ones, and I probably had it play on my TV before, but I just don't remember, a long time ago. It has William Dafoe in it, Charlie Sheen. It's definitely always one of those ones that's listed in like the war movies you'd want to own if you like war movies. Saving Private Ryan is probably my top war movie, and that seems kind of cliche maybe, but that movie is great, so there's no shame in that. But Platoon is one to own. Also Full Metal Jacket. I might have already went over that one. I've got that one, but I'm gonna have to watch this again. And there's some other really good war movies that I've been looking into getting that I don't know much about. I got this from a Family Video that is now closed. I'm very sad that Family Videos are closing everywhere, but I always joked about it even years ago, like, how are these places going to survive with Amazon and Netflix being able to stream videos and being able to buy them online, whatever else. Lots of businesses are dying, and I knew that, the video rental places were going to go more and more, and it's sad, but it's But I didn't go to them. But every now and then I'd go in just to look around. It was still fun to do that, and I know there are people that still rent. But anyway, movies were on sale, and so I was just looking for some. My cousin said this is pretty funny, and I haven't watched it yet. But it's got James Franco and Seth Green, or Seth Rogen, sorry. I don't know. This movie has to do with Kim Jong Un or whatever, and they try to interview him or something like that. A fake one, obviously, an actor. This isn't like a reality show, but it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. The Big Lebowski. This is a comedy classic. I remember seeing this when I was a lot younger, renting it, and not really enjoying it that much, thinking it was weird, and, I liked parts of it, but it was over my head, I was too young to be watching this, and, but going back and watching it when I was older, I realized how this is a cult classic, and there is like a Big Lebowski Day, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's celebrated, at least in America, where bowling alleys will have a day where they'll have like movie trivia and people come in dressed like the characters from the Big Lebowski, because it takes, they're bowlers, so it has a little bit to do with bowling, but it's a Coen Brothers movie. I've liked almost everything they've done. It has Jeff Bridges and John Goodman, and it's about this guy Lebowski who owes people money or something. But then there's this other Lebowski who is Jeff Bridges, and he's basically kind of like this bum, and they get mixed up, and so the people who want the money, they come after this bum instead, and he's trying to figure all this out. They call him the Dude in this movie, but man, I almost just want to watch this again, like right now. It's so great. I love it. So if you haven't seen that, and you're into comedy stuff, I definitely suggest that one. Desperado. Can't say if I've sat through this, but this is part of a trilogy, and I only have 2 of them. Desperado might be the best one out of them. I'm not sure. They're action movies. Take place in Mexico, I think. It has Antonio Banderas. All that I really know is there's a lot of shooting in here, and he has like guitar cases where he pulls out guns out of them and stuff like that. So just lots of shooting and action, but they're really great movies. Goldmember, I don't think I've seen this. I might have seen like the first Austin Powers, but I have all of them, but I need to sit through them. I do love Mike Myers, and he's made a lot of these characters in these movies very popular. Actually, I was watching Celebrity Family Feud the other day, and I love that Family Feud, and but they have Celebrity Family Feud on Hulu, and at the end they have the round for like the winning team where they get asked questions and they have to answer, and they have to get an answer that's popular to get so many points and whatever. Well, they were like fill in the blank, Austin blank, and one of them said Austin Powers, and I think that was the most popular choice. Besides maybe Austin, Texas, they might have been tied. But that's how popular this is. When people think of the name Austin, they think of Powers, and so he's definitely made a legacy with these. Kind of like a spoof on James Bond or something, which they're having a black woman supposedly play James Bond in the next one, which is ridiculous, but whatever. Reign Over Me, I've been meaning to do a review for this a long time. I really like this movie with Adam Sandler. It's a drama, and he does a great job in this movie, and that John Cheadle, whoever the other guy is in this movie, he's great. Basically, Adam Sandler plays a guy who lost his wife and his 3 daughters in 9/11. They died in the airplane, and he has post-traumatic stress syndrome. These 2 guys were buddies in college, and they were both learning to be dentists, and they were in the same dorm together, and it didn't happen until later on, after they left college, that his wife and 3 children died. Well, they end up meeting again in the city. This guy sees him, and he knows about what happened to him, and he wants to befriend him again. He asks him, hey, don't you remember like all the fun we had in college? And this guy he did become a dentist. He has a family, and you know, he kind of has struggles in his life too, and he enjoys kind of the freedom of being able to be with him and help him. And wow, this movie is amazing. I really do like it a lot. Adam Sandler is a great actor. He's obviously really good at comedy, but maybe one of his serious movies that I like the most would be Punch Drunk Love, but this is up there because Punch Drunk Love is really artsy and stuff. This is just a straightforward kind of drama, but this is really, really good. I definitely would suggest that if you like Adam Sandler and you want to see more of a serious role. Synecdoche, New York. I've really been looking forward to watching this. I haven't seen it yet. It's got Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's supposed to be really surreal, which are the kind of movies that I love, but basically I think that all these women are his ex-girlfriends or ex-wives or something. I don't know. In New York, this guy, I don't know if he makes plays or what, but he decides to reconstruct the city like inside of a warehouse, and he pays actors to play as people who were in his life. And so he's like in this warehouse like reliving his life. So very strange idea, but I need to watch this. I need to watch it. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars. A great film. See it twice, he said. I know I'm missing out by not seeing that yet. Matchstick Men, haven't seen this yet. It's supposed to be pretty good. Got Nicolas Cage and this other guy and this girl, and I think that they are swindlers, and they have this girl come along with them. She wants to learn how to be a swindler, so she gets in on it, and it's a comedy, and it's supposed to be good. So, Three Kings, don't know anything about this. I think another kind of war movie. Has George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and Ice Cube. Very interesting. George Clooney's a really good actor. Obviously in ER, but I also like him in From Dusk Till Dawn. I really like him in Burn After Reading. And Mark Wahlberg's good. I like The Happening. I know a lot of people don't like The Happening, but I do. And I love the other guys with him and Will Ferrell. Ice Cube, he's great in Friday, and he's obviously got his music career too. He's a good actor. So I don't really know much about this movie, but this is one of the ones I picked up for like 50 cents. I remember hearing about it. So I don't know. Good, I guess. Eight-Legged Freaks. I haven't watched this yet either. And some people don't think that it's great maybe, but it might be a guilty pleasure for me. Giant spiders. I've always wanted to watch this. I need to sit down and watch it. But it has David Arquette, and you know, he was actually had the WCW title before, which is ridiculous, but he was in that movie Ready to Rumble, and they wanted to promote it. He actually wrestles now. He's still wrestling in professional wrestling, and I guess he did like some kind of death match where he got really cut up, and everybody said it was so stupid that he's trying to do this. But I read recently that he's going to wrestle in a tag team against Jerry Lawler and somebody else, so he's really trying to prove, you know, I guess that he likes wrestling, and that you know, a lot of people look down on him, you know, being given the title and stuff before, but he seems like a really great guy, and he's a pretty good he's a pretty good actor, so I might like this. I can enjoy, you know, stupid movies like this. Alright, the best of Adam Sandler. I've already gave Adam Sandler really high praise, and you know, one of the way that I knew him was probably through Saturday Night Live, just like a lot of people, like Will Ferrell and everybody else. I'm probably going to own every Adam Sandler movie eventually. I mean, he's that good, even though some of his movies were flops, but still, you know, he's in them, so he kind of makes it entertaining enough. But he has so many great skits on Saturday Night Live, and immediately what I kind of think of is when he played the guitar, and he did like the Lunch Ladyland, and he did the Happy Hanukkah song. But he's so goofy. He played a lot of good characters on Saturday Night Live. Back when Saturday Night Live was good. 50 First Dates. You know, it's a decent romance comedy where Drew Barrymore has like some kind of amnesia where she can go through a whole day, and then the next day she forgets what happened the day before, and she keeps reliving like one day in her life, and he falls in love with her, and he doesn't know about this at first, but then, you know, So it's an interesting, that's why it's called 50 First Dates, because they're like on the first date over and over and over again. Drew Barrymore is a really good actress too, and I've watched this probably more than I should have, but yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. Mr. Deeds, I haven't seen that. I need to. It might be one of his lower movies. I don't know. Maybe not as good as some of the other ones. I need to find out. I haven't watched it yet, but it's Adam Sandler. So, The Bourne Identity. I think I officially now have the entire trilogy, and I don't know if I've sat all the way through these. Maybe I've sat through this one. This one's the first one. I think this Jason, I don't know, is it Jason Bourne? Something? Yeah. I'm trying to find out who he is or something. Another big action movie with Matt Damon. Matt Damon's a good actor. So, even though I haven't seen all these, I know they're supposed to be good. I'm sure that I would enjoy them. Superbad. It's really kind of surprising that I picked this up. This might have been for 50 cents or whatever. I do think this is a good movie. Oops. But, maybe not as much as some other people, but I was like, I think this was in the pile for like really dirt cheap, so I was like, whatever, I'll pick it up. I don't remember what all this is about either. These guys just trying to get to be with girls, and they just go on this crazy adventure. I don't know. Next, The Wedding Singer, another Adam Sandler movie. With Drew Barrymore, and this is better than 50 First Dates. It's probably better than Mr. Deeds. I don't know what I would say his best comedy is. To me, it's definitely tough. I've seen, probably partial to Happy Gilmore is probably the best, but he has so many good ones. Some that I've seen a lot are Anger Management, and I've watched what else? The Longest Yard, because that's like packed with all kinds of stars. I like that one. And then, obviously Little Nicky, and I can't think, what's the other one where he's in school? Madison something. I don't know. But Happy Gilmore is probably the better one. But I don't know. The Wedding Singer is really up there too, because it's a great one. Another kind of romance comedy one. There's a wedding singer in it, so whatever. King Kong versus Godzilla. I love Godzilla movies. I love the giant monster movies. Kaiju, or whatever they're called. I also love Gamera. He's like the giant turtle in Japan. I used to own some of those, some different ones. Eventually, I want to have a good Godzilla collection. I really love the Godzilla movies from the 90s and the 2000s, the early 2000s, like the Toho, the real Japanese ones. This one, King Kong vs. Godzilla, is not one of the greatest ones, but it's funny. It's entertaining. These two, it's a classic. I mean, it's King Kong, Godzilla. One of the things that me and my cousin always loved about this is how they have like that building in between them, and they just like tear down this building just to get to each other. And it's goofy, but this was a cheaper one, and I need to start a Godzilla collection, so why not have that one? Monty Python and the Meaning of Life. I'm not sure if I've watched this one. No, I've watched The Holy Grail and The Life of Brian. I need to watch this. No, it's Monty Python. What can you say? Chinatown. I haven't seen this, but it's supposed to be one of the greatest movies of all time. So I need to watch it. Jack Nicholson, Faye Dunaway. Don't know anything about this movie, except for the fact that it's up there with the greatest movies of all time. So if you like the greatest movies of all time, you should check it out. Let's see what it says. Oh, it's Roman Polanski. Okay. That guy is popular for being basically charged with pedophilia or something, but he did do Rosemary's Baby, which is supposed to be a classic. I haven't seen that either. He was a good director, I guess. Chinatown has evolved from classic mystery to landmark film. Screen legend Jack Nicholson breathes life into sharp-tongued private eye Jack Geddes, I don't know. He's hired by a stunning socialite to investigate her husband, who she suspects is cheating, but what he thinks is a routine case of adultery quickly deteriorates into a tangle of deceit, corruption, and treachery. Even the City of Angels has a dark side, as this private eye is about to find out. He unravels one scandal after next, but the biggest mystery is what and who lies at the heart of it all. A crime drama. Alright, the last one here is A Ghost in the Shell. And I really wanted to see this in theater when it came out. And when it did, I decided not to. And the reviews were kind of mixed. And maybe I should have, because actually I do kind of like this. I thought it looked really good from the previews. And then when some of the reviews came out, I was kind of like, because I have the anime, and I'll get to that later. But I love the anime. And, kind of offended that they made this in a movie in the first place. But from the previews, it did look good. It reminded me of Blade Runner and some of the other futuristic movies, like The Matrix. Like, the effects in it looked good, and I actually did like it after getting this. And this is one of the movies. I don't remember if I actually got it 2 for $5 or if this was. Yeah, I might have. Okay, this is probably a Capitol Music movie, but I'm glad. I would suggest this, even if you haven't seen the anime or anything. If you're into the sci-fi action movies, you probably like this. And so there was a lot of outrage too, because it's an Asian anime, and they had like Scarlett Johansson and like white people play characters in the movie. But that didn't really bother me. But yeah, it's good. So all right. That took me a while to go through those. That's the tier 4, and then the final one there, and then go over the third tower. God bless, guys.